everybody, Edo here, and the good folks at Lifestyle Board Games have sent along Storytailors. Now, this is a company from Russia that sent me a number of their games, and admittedly, this one didn't work. You know, this was the one that was the biggest challenge for me. Now, as the game goes, component quality is fantastic. This is a book with sleeves and lots of fantastic imagery. It's really great. Essentially, this is a game targeted at young children, and what you're going to be doing is telling a story. And in the book, there's a number. In the game, there's a number of stories. This is probably 10, 15 stories, and you will be adding the story to the book. And when you do, you slide it in. There's like an order to which you do the story, and then you're going to add a character. And the art on these characters is fantastic. There's all sorts of animals and creatures in here. It's just a delightful set of animals. Again, the art works great. So you add it in, and essentially each character is referenced. So this story starts with a decisive captain, and so this dolphin is the decisive captain. And the idea here is you read the story, that's the decisive captain, and then the story progresses, and you turn the page. The images are the kids, but they're not related to the story, obviously, because those change out. And then as you play, you're seeing which characters are which role, and reading and continuing the chapter and the story. And each time you do, you add another character. So one day, a sharp-eyed pearl gatherer, and the bold here is the character. So the game is that everyone, all the players are going to essentially be suggesting characters from their hands and voting on who they like best, and using these tokens here. And essentially, you know, you get points for having the one that folks voted for. You can't vote for yourself. And so that's the game. You're voting for characters, and as the character comes in, they come in, and then you just continue reading through the fun stories. So, again, components are fantastic. The look and feel of it's fantastic. Why do I have a problem with it? Well, this is really young, right? So this is targeted at young kids. These are cute stories, but, you know, not, you know, it's very cute and young. The text is really dense. Like, really, really dense. Small and pretty robust language. I don't know if this is a translation problem from Russian or what the original language. Good, fun stories. I didn't read all of them, but the ones I did have engaging stories. But not for a kid, right? It says 5+, but not no 5-year-old is going to read this. And so, but then older kids aren't going to really care about voting for the cute characters. And so ultimately, I think the only way to use this is as a parent with a kid telling a story and having them pick characters. Now, that's a variant in here, which is essentially the like play with a young kid variant. That's really the only way I think this works. You just have the split between the difficulty of the language and the simplicity of the game, I think falls in this weird spot. And you really need that adult guidance. And so, yeah, or like perhaps a, you know, kindergarten teacher. But even there, like, I feel like when my kids were that age, the stories that we were telling them were simpler and used smaller, you know, like simpler language. Like I feel like here's another one. You know, on the deck, the captain announced a voyage to his crew, and soon his ship left the harbor. A while later, the pearl gatherer heard some rustles in one of the barrels. A deft snoop was hiding there. He had snuck aboard the ship because he longed for the sea. "Shiver me timbers," shouted the captain. "Then you'll swab the decks to work your passage." Like, man, if I was reading this to a 5-year-old, the amount of words I would have to teach and explain would be through the roof. Deft, like all sorts of ones. And so that inherently lies my problem with this. Amazing production value, sweet, wonderful idea, a nice level for a parent and a child, but finding that sweet spot age-wise is a really narrow page, and I wouldn't feel comfortable handing this to a bunch of kids and them making it work. I actually think if they replaced the story cards with ones that were like super easy and more like Dr. Seuss-y, maybe puns and rhymes and that kind of thing, I would rate it higher. But there's just such a mismatch from my experience with kids in the United States, right? I don't know the range here. I think it'd be very hard to find an audience that this worked for. Company's doing great work. All the other games that I got were great. This one just didn't seem to work. So anyway, Storytailors. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.